And we're back. This time I'm going to show you how to start with skin retouching in Adobe Photoshop. Let us use this original image. I press Ctrl J to have a copy of it, and I make the original invisible. And now I use the quick selection tool on the copy. I hold Alt when I want to get rid of parts of the selection. We just need the face and we don't have to worry much about the details. I'll show you why in a second. Just click on Layer Mask, select and mask, activate the Smart Radius and increase the radius. And now we will use the Refine Edge brush tool to go over the edges. Just like this. It smoothens the edges out. And we can work with that. Press OK. Now we will make the original visible again. We don't have to worry about the hair, as the effects that we're using will only be applied on the skin. Make sure you've got the layer mask activated, then activate the brush tool. Click on the little color icons and the double arrow to have black as a foreground color. You can adjust the size of the brush over here and then paint on your eye. We don't want to have the effects applied on the eye and on the eyebrows. I've been using an opacity of 50%. If you don't want any effects applied to these areas, just use 100%. In the top menu, you will find the opacity directly to the right side of the mode, and you can adjust it there. Let us activate the copy of the original, then we go to Filter, Blur and Surface Blur. Make sure Preview is activated, and now we'll need to find a good radius and threshold for what we're using. Let me go up with the radius extremely so that you can see what the effect does. You need to be careful not to overdo it, so 50 was way too much, as the image then looks very unnatural. And for thresholds, the same applies. Don't go overboard with these parameters. Normally you would use something around 10 to 25 pixels. That should be fine, and a threshold around 10 to 30. You should be starting there to find your perfect sweet spot. Alright, the next step for us is to use the Spot Healing brush tool. Make sure Content Aware is activated, and now we'll just have to click on the details that we want to remove. And this tool automatically finds a good spot to replace it with, as long as Content Aware is activated. You can see the results are pretty good for such a quick tool. When you overdo it with that tool, let me just click a bit around over here right below the eye. And I don't like that anymore, it's a bit too unnatural. So if you run into such a problem, just open your history menu. In the toolbar you can find it. If you don't, go to Window, and there is a history that you simply need to click on, and it will open up this menu. And then you can go back until you have found a good spot. Maybe like this. This is a good one. And I close the menu. Here's another detail I want to get rid of. Let me decrease the size of the tool. That looks good. But sometimes when you use that tool, the Content Aware function doesn't work properly. So let me do it like here. I'm not that happy with the result. So let me use the Healing brush tool instead of the Spot Healing brush tool. And if I click now, it shows me this warning message, and it just says that I need to create a reference point, and we can do that by holding Alt and then left click. And if we now go over the spots, it will be using this reference point to replace the ones that we want to have removed. What is the difference between the heating brush and the sport heating brush tool? Keep that in mind when you're using both tools. Another tool you might want to use is the blur tool. Especially around the nose, that makes sense. You can blur out little spots with that, but don't overdo it. Especially in this example, it's fine the way it is. Just another detail you might want to add is go to Filter, Noise and add noise. You want to have Gaussian and monochromatic activated. And then go down with the amount, and it creates kind of a natural, you could say, grain on top of the skin, which is something you especially want to use if your images look unnatural. And that should be fine. This one, if you found your perfect spot, just click on OK and it will be applied. And this is it. This is the quick start beginner's guide to skin retouching, and you can create very good results with only a couple of minutes of work. You can see here if we compare the original to what we have now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.